Greetings to all friends, and this is my first video on the channel. Here I will review various series, films and games. Also sometimes I'll show reactions to projects that I haven't watched yet. I plan to release a video every 1 or 2 weeks. We'll see how I can combine the pleasant with the useful. I'll be grateful if you subscribe, like and press the bell so as not to miss new content. And I in turn will try not to disappoint you. Well then, let's start. The Walking Dead universe was invented by Robert Kirkman, an American writer, producer, and screenwriter from Richmond, Kentucky. The series was a successful adaptation of the comic book that ran from 2003 until 2019. Tony Moore and Charlie Adlard serve as excellent artists for the post-apocalypse horror comic. And in 2010, the first episode of the TV series was released on AMC. Dramatic zombie horror developed by Frank Darabont, decent quality acting, film and atmosphere, makeup, plot and dialogues. All this is so attractive to the viewer who appreciates this subject. I can pass by this series because I watched it since 2015, I grew up on it, so let's start to put everything on the shelves. From the first few minutes of the series we see a flash forward as the protagonist, Deputy Rick Grimes, stops the car near a gas station to fill a can of gasoline. Gradually the colors thicken. It gets grim when we see dead bodies lying in the car, and then a creepy little girl with a teddy bear. Our lawkeeper tries to help her, but sees a frightening sight. She ran towards him and he just had to shoot her. Then the show's intro begins. It's a creepy, tense, atmospheric intro that sticks in my heart so deep. Bear McCreary did a great job on the sound of the show, including the intro. After the intro, we see the present tense as two comrades, Rick and Shane, have a friendly conversation about ordinary household horrors, and it's fun. It's very heartwarming and lively. Their conversation is interrupted by a call, a chase after the intruders. The shootout with the bandits on the road is perfectly filmed, and for the unexpected moment when the protagonist Rick is wounded in the armored vest and then in the shoulder. Rick ends up in a coma. His best friend Shane visits him. He brings him flowers. Rick jokes and realizes the Shane is not there and the flowers have long since withered. Rick, not understanding what's going on, calls for the nurse, but she doesn't come to help. This creepy atmosphere makes me tense up. The scenes in the abandoned hospital were frightening and done in an insanely cool way. The dimming light, dead bodies lying around, blood, gunshot marks on the walls created an extraordinary horror vibe. I love the iconic moment where a dead man's hand comes out the door and writes, "Don't open that inside." Stepping outside, Rick sees the stacks of corpses and goes into shock. The music at this point gives me goosebumps. Rick finds a bicycle and tries to get home to his family. On the way, he sees a creepy, terrifying living dead woman with no legs and her guts out. Rick falls off his bike like he's having a nightmare. When he returns to his house, he doesn't find his wife Lori and son Carl there. He falls to the ground and cries, punching himself in the face to wake up. He doesn't realize that this is the reality now. The character is empathetic. Actor Andrew Lincoln plays his role perfectly. Then, sitting outside a house, he notices a passerby and calls out to him. But a dark-skinned man appears and kills the passerby, and Rick is hit in the face with a shovel by a small boy. It's getting tense. A dark-skinned man named Morgan Jones has taken Rick into his house. He lives with his son Dwayne, and his wife is dead. He told Rick the truth about what was happening outside his window, and that the passerby who was walking near Rick was a walker. The Walking Dead doesn't just lie. There's something left in their brains and bring them back to life. They react to light, so the characters cover the windows with blankets. They also react to sound, so it's important to keep it down. And they react to odor if they smell prey near them. It's a creepy night. Morgan's dead wife comes to visit her family and pulls on the doorknob and looks through the peephole. All of these moments in the episode are so frightening. Rick and Morgan's interaction in this episode are very interesting, great dialogues I think. In the morning, Rick learns how to kill this beast with a bat. Morgan tells him where to hit it so that the corpse will finally die. Then they visit Rick's house again and notice that there are not photo albums. Rick figures that they are gone. There's a chance that his family evacuated. Morgan and Dwayne say that there is a large refugee camp in Atlanta, so they give Rick a tip. The deputy has a great idea. He takes the keys of the police station. The whole team of new friends went to collect weapons, take a hot water shower, and borrow cars. Rick gives Morgan a walkie-talkie and tells him that he will be in touch for a couple minutes at dawn. They say goodbye to each other. Rick spots and kills his stern colleague Leon Lassie and then goes off to find his family. Rick is a kind man. On his way back from King County, stopping to show mercy to the crawling dead woman he saw earlier. And what a shame for Morgan. He can't finally put his wife to rest because he still loves her. Then we are shown footage of Rick trying to contact the survivors. The people at the survival camp heard it. Among them, we see Rick's best friend Shane, and from the photo from the police car, we realize that Lori and Carl are also there. Shane kisses Lori, and they both don't realize that Rick survived and go to them. Rick goes to get gasoline. That's probably when the flash forward from the beginning of the series happened. Rick walks up to the house and sees a bloody writing on the wall, "God forgive us." We realize that these people have committed suicide and are asking for forgiveness in the Lord. Rick takes horse and heads for Atlanta. Suddenly, a helicopter flies through the sky and Rick, hoping to find his family, rides after it and is ambushed by a mob of dead people. That's where the most intense part happens. The poor horse is being torn apart. Rick was left to crawl under a tank and pull a bullet in his head. But no, he noticed an open hatch above him and climbs inside the tank. Further creepy scenes with dead people are awesome. Rick takes the grenade he found there and doesn't know what to do next. He thinks it's the end, but suddenly he hears a voice from the radio. "Hey you, dumbass. Yeah, you in the tank." The episode ends with a fun Space Junk soundtrack, like the violent footage of the horse being eaten and the whole street near the tank is crawling with the dead things. I love the contrast, the juxtaposition of the horrible and the funny. At all, a great pilot for the series. The atmosphere is conveyed, the tragedy of what happened. The main character empathizes, rooting for him to find his family. For the plot of the series, this episode is very important. It tells us the idea of the series, rules, if I can say so. The main character develops. Now he is trying to adapt to the new world order. Andrew Lincoln's acting is excellent, as I said. His face conveyed the horror of what he saw. This episode ended intriguingly enough. It is interesting to see how Rick will get out of the trap. I dislike in this episode only that time skip missed the beginning of the epidemic itself. No one explained the cause of the virus, but it's not so terrible because the hate of the epidemic is perfectly shown in the spin-off Fear the Walking Dead. and the origins of the virus, I think, will be shown in the future The Walking Dead spin-offs. Helicopter in the first episode was also shown for a reason. In the future, this line will be developed. My assessment of the episode is 10. I consider it a masterpiece, but this is my subjective opinion. So leave your assessments in the comments and I'll be sure to write back. Thank you all for watching. I'll work on a review of the second episode. If you like my video, then subscribe. And if you don't want to miss the latest tweets, just put a bell. See you in the new video. Bye.
In my hands, I hold the ashes. In my veins, black pitch